afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back, y'all, to another Ground with the Goats. So, as you can see, this one will be Grounds with the Goat. This morning we tried doing our Grounds with the Goats, and I was unprepared myself. I didn't realize that my mini sim in my camera was completely full, and just as we got to the ending, the closing part of the Grounds with the Goats, like we literally recorded an entire Grounds with the Goats, almost. And then just as we were about to sign off and do our sign off, is when the camera beeped and said, "You are out of memory space." And of course Sam did not have time to stick around for me to get the issue resolved so that we could finish it, so she had to run to work, which is fine. That's why I put the community post up this morning, kind of explaining what happened. And then she had something slow her down coming home from lunch, so she didn't have time to record a full Grounds with the Goats while home for lunch, which is fine. I hope y'all are okay with it. It's just going to be moi today. What I want to read out of today is what we read this morning, which is Proverbs 10, being because it is the 10th. So that's what's awesome about Proverbs, is there is literally a chapter per day in Proverbs. 31 Proverbs, 31 days in a month. And if it's a 30-day month, then read 30 and 31, the last day of the month. But I learned this in the first recovery facility that I went to whenever I first went into rehab in April of 2016. And it was just like a little, almost like a halfway house, I guess. Like just a house full of guys trying to recover, and yeah. So we won't get deep into that, but in that program in McAlester, Oklahoma, that's where I first heard about reading Proverbs this way, and I thought it was freaking awesome. So that's what we did every day when we were in that program. So there was probably 6 to 8 guys in that one house, and we'd have to get up every morning, and they'd have it all set up in the dining room. All the guys would go in there, and we would read each proverb for that day of the week. So that's where I got the idea from, and that's really what it really helped me just kind of train myself in opening my Bible every day, getting some word in me, feeding my spirit with the Word of God. So yeah, it's a really cool thing to do. So if y'all didn't know, now you know, and if you would like, try it and see how it works for you. But here we go. Proverbs 10. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures have no lasting value, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crops in the summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. The name of the righteous is used in blessings, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Whoever winks maliciously causes grief, and a chattering fool comes to ruin. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. So that's about half of Proverbs 10. I love Proverbs, man. And like even if you didn't believe in God, like you can get so much, especially out of Proverbs, that would benefit even someone who didn't believe. Like just as far as just standard wisdom, you know. And so I encourage anybody out there, even if you don't believe, just crack it open and read, like I said, doing Proverbs like that every day. Like, wake up, first thing you do, open it up and read you a chapter of Proverbs and just give it a shot and see what may come out of it. I think it could help. I know for a fact it can definitely help even an individual that didn't believe. Like I said, it's just straight knowledge, just dropping knowledge on you. And a lot of it makes sense, makes perfectly good sense. I like Proverbs 10 verse 9, whoever walks in integrity walks securely. Makes sense. But whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. I'm taking that meaning as in anyone doing evil out there, even if it's behind closed doors and he feels like he's the only one that knows, eventually that's going to rise to the top. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like if you're boiling water and you got some crummy stuff in the bottom of your pan, after it heats up for so long, eventually those impurities are going to be up for the eye to see, which is also a really good thing looking at what's going on in our world today. People doing evil are not going to get away with it. And even if they do get by with it on this earth, they're still going to have to face the man. It really is heartbreaking, honestly. It really, really is. I want to see everybody in heaven. We know that's not exactly going to happen, but I'd like to. And I was watching these different YouTube shorts of people, atheists, with, I can't remember what the guy's name is. He's some kind of preacher, but he was in Israel years ago. Not Israel right now, but pray for Israel, speaking of. But he's doing a video with different college students out there. This one girl asking one of probably the most common questions that people have. If God is so loving and kind, why does anybody go to hell? Well, that's the thing. That there is because he is so loving and kind, that he's not going to force you to listen to him or believe in him. You see what I'm saying? So it's your decision whether you're going to go to heaven or hell. He's not forcing you to do either or. His love is the same based on what you want to love him. So it's not that he is this loving God, but yet, no, not that person. No, not that. No, it's not like that at all. That's the power of free will. He is so loving and caring that he gives you the opportunity to choose life or death. And if you really think about it, that really just makes total sense. God didn't create evil, but we are on earth right now, and what we walk on earth is the devil's playground. Kind of a silly question. If God is so loving and caring, why would he put anybody in hell? He's not putting nobody in hell. People put themselves in hell instead of really sitting down and examining it themselves. Like even sin in general. Man did that. Adam and Eve, they decided to go against what God said. God didn't force them to do that, but the option was there. I think realizing that, of course, if there's good, there's evil. So they're both going to be there. And it's your choice to choose which way you want to go. Man, I wish that I could break through every single heart and soul out there that is confused and just help them to realize, God is good, God is real, God does love you. Now what are you going to do with it? Okay. Sorry guys, I love y'all. That's why I get stuck in that. If Sammy was sitting here, she'd be elbowing me. But I just love you guys, and I don't want to see anybody be confused and unknowingly choose death instead of life, when life is just there so easily to grab. Well, today, my dad's actually going to be coming over when he gets off work, so he should be here probably about 5:30. We actually went and helped him and his wife move some things out at their place yesterday. My dad's wife's dad, he's in his mid-90s now, and he's lived on his own up until now, but he's getting to a point of slowly starting to decline a little bit. Like he wasn't eating and this and that and the other, so They had an extra room at their place, so they're clearing it out and getting it ready. Her dad's already out there now, but they're trying to get his little spot set up in that back room. So we went out yesterday and helped him move some stuff around, picked up her dad's TV from his house here in town and brought it out there. And so in that room that they're putting him in, they have an awesome tanning bed. Miracle has actually been asking for that tanning bed for the past year or two, begging her grandpa to give it to her for a graduation gift. She don't know yet that we're actually getting it. I didn't say nothing to her, because at this point we're really not going to even be able to utilize it here, because as you can see, this is a very old house. Electricity, I'm sure, needs to be all, you know, redone and checked and all that kind of stuff. I mean, our microwave blows the breaker. It's definitely not going to push a full-size, full-blown tanning bed. What I plan on doing is just taking it, whenever he brings it over, I'm going to put it in my carport. I'm going to go out there and make a little room out there and just put it against the wall in the carport. And eventually go get a big breaker that I can replace on our breaker box. And then I'll just run a power source from that breaker, and just because the carport is literally like right next to the house, so it would be very simple to just run an electrical outlet from here out there, because Sammy is concerned of something happening and it catching the house on fire, which is a legitimate concern. I get it, but that's exactly why I want to try to do it this way, where we can just do it out in a carport. It'll be covered, it will be protected, and the house will be protected in case anything happens. Sis don't even know about it yet. Like I said, I don't want to tell her yet, because she's going to immediately be ready to jump in it and start tanning, and that just ain't going to be able to happen. But at the same time, now that I've got this tanning bag, I was telling Sam I'm going to kind of use that the most I can as a pull to get Sis to come to Kentucky with us, because I mean, there's nowhere else she's going to be able to put a tanning bed. It'll have to go with us. So all else fails, then we can put it up for sale and make a buck on it to help us out. But that's not my intention. I don't want to sell it. I do want to hold on to it, and we can take it out to Kentucky with us and just make a little tanning room out there. And Sam, after work, she has got to go over and see her dad. She's going over to bring him some smokes and things like that. So Danny's girlfriend, which Danny is Sam's dad, his girlfriend is actually staying at her daughter's house right now. She just had surgery for carpal tunnel, I think it is. So she's been staying over there with her daughter while she's in the recovery process. So Dan is just stuck over at that house by himself, which I say stuck. I know he's enjoying having the house to himself. He don't have a vehicle or anything to get anywhere, so Sam's going to run over there and take care of him and spend a little time with him, which she needs to do. And I'm going to sit here and wait on Pops to get here and unload this tanning bed. And Miracle, I believe, she is going to a football game in Claremore for a high school football game, and then I'm not sure what her plans are after that. But as far as this weekend, I really don't know what we've got going on, to be honest. Maybe just getting things ready and getting the house ready for Thanksgiving and things like that, which is another thing on Thanksgiving. My dad and sister have been getting it together to where it'll be me, my brother, and my sister all getting together at my dad's house for the day of Thanksgiving, which is awesome, and I hope nobody backs out. My dad's been trying to do this for several years now, and we just never can get fully put together. There's always somebody that can't show up, or this or that or something, and it always falls apart. And I remember last year Dad saying he was done. He was done. He wasn't going to try no more because he was just over it. So this time it was my sister, and I think the thought of me and Sam leaving to Kentucky in May, my sister's like, man, we really all need to get together and spend as much time together as possible before our move. So, which we plan on doing other things, like when spring comes up. I was talking to my dad last night, and we'll do some cookouts and things like that. Just get as much family time as possible before we go. So, alright guys, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this, being just me. Yeah, again, I apologize that Sam couldn't be here with me to do the grounds with the goats today. I decided, like, at the last minute, like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself so I can get y'all a video up. I already told y'all that I was going to have it up by the end of today. So, yeah. Love you guys. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. And I want to say a special thanks to Jan from Simply Jan. And if anybody's watching that doesn't know Jan, go over and check out Simply Jan's homestead. She is awesome, and she has been going the extra mile to try to help us out this past week. And man, we are so appreciative of it, and we have been gaining people. And thank you, Jan. We really appreciate it. You are awesome. And yeah, we love you guys so much. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next one.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.